DJ Khaled.
I'm afraid.
Why don't you play us something, baby? Why don't you play us something? Why don't you play us something, baby?
Start? I don't feel so good. It's fucking molten!
You know when you're at a party and then things just get real fucking molten?
Nah, dude, I don't go to parties.
Oh, yeah, that is actually true. You do go to parties. I did make a fool of myself at a Halloween party this week.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good time. I got way too drunk, way too fast, as I typically do.
Yeah, you're.
And then I left the party at 11:30.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah.
At least you left.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really terrible when you stick around. Anyway, I was trying to on Halloween. Now that it's November, I was trying to give out some candy, but I didn't have any. So I was just trying to give out that copy of Van Helsing that I had. And no one would want it. No one would take it.
None of the kids?
Mm-mm. But you know what they were interested in?
What's that?
Printed out copies of the Communist Manifesto.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm glad you had that as a backup.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Well, I like to have treats.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we gave out candy for Halloween. We had like 70 kids or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, fucking bananas.
I actually had 0. I made that entire scenario up.
No, we watched we gave out candy, and then we watched a movie that I had never seen before, which I'd like to big up a little bit because I've never seen it before, but also I want to downplay it. Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat. You ever seen this movie?
No.
From director of Godzilla King of Monsters.
With the little pumpkin man?
Yeah, it's got the he's a little pumpkin kid.
I've seen the character.
Yeah, it's you know what? Pretty tight, you know. I thought
Pretty good?
I thought it was going to be shitty.
Doherty?
Pretty tight, dude.
We've classically shit on that guy before.
yeah, absolutely. Except for Godzilla King of Monsters because it's the best movie of all time.
Right.
But there is one problem that I have. The movie that is about a little pumpkin boy and has many children in it was in fact produced by Bryan Singer.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Son of a bitch.
Speaking of which,
Oh, I'm sorry, Podcast Bot 5000. I didn't mean to trigger you by mentioning your creator, Bryan Singer.
yeah, I heard you were talking about the Almighty.
The Almighty. Jesus, Podcast
That's
Bot.
what I was programmed to say.
Okay, all right. Can you say the name Bryan Singer, or like does it just autocorrect Almighty every time?
Depends how I'm feeling on the day. I might be able to squeak one out. Bryan Singer Blue Party. So he gets buzzed.
He gets hurt. Dude, he does
He
get
gets buzzed
hurt.
if you talk bad about the Almighty.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go to the boy parties. We'll talk bad enough for Bryan Singer for the both of us, all right? So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Podcast Bot 5000. Since you're here, is he gone? Oh, there he is. Hey, since you're here, can you let us know what movies we are watching this week?
Yeah, I sure can, Chadley. I programmed a great one here for Netflix November.
Netflix November, baby.
Because apparently that's what you guys are banging out constantly now.
Because Netflix has just made too much.
They do have that problem where they just keep making stuff.
Yeah.
With no regard for human life.
No, not at all. And that's what I want, dude.
So you'll be watching 2 Netflix films. The new Soderbergh, because he's not retired, but maybe he is.
He's not. He'll never retire.
The Laundromat. Also some stupid horror movie called Eli.
Yeah.
And of course, when you hit the theater, you got to see A24.
Robert Eggers, baby.
It wouldn't be A24 without Pattinson coming.
Yeah,
So-
it's The Lighthouse, baby.
Yeah, The Lighthouse. And then the new series, baby, Fast and Furious, at least the first 6.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching the first 6, and you know what? We might squeak in that Hobbs and Shaw because I know you already reviewed it, but I did not.
Yeah, well, you'll like it.
We might squeak it in. Oh, I'm sure it's a 5. I'm positive it's a 5.
Yeah, it's great.
So
it's
that's
extremely good.
That's our stuff for today. Want to start out with The Lighthouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so The Lighthouse. So I took my girlfriend to see this.
Oh, yeah, and here's the thing about The Lighthouse. Completely impenetrable.
do not take your girlfriend to see this. As a piece of advice, do not take your girlfriend to see this. She hated it.
That's the reaction that, that's what it's created to do, is to have that reaction.
And I felt horrible because I dragged her to this movie.
Yeah.
She didn't really want to go. I dragged her to this movie, and I was in the seat next to her fucking loving it, dude.
And this is the kind of art house bullshit that we love.
This
right here I got my Criterion charter member. So I know about film, guys.
Yeah. He's a charter member, guys. He
I'm
is
a charter
film man.
member. I got my Criterion card, and now I'm a film guy. And here's the thing: this shit is so fucking good.
It's like one of the best movies of the year.
But I'm astonished. I'm astonished someone was even allowed to make it. Allowed to make it.
Yeah, we walked out of the theater. I turned to my girlfriend. I'm like, I might need like 300 years to unpack that, because there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh yeah.
The Lighthouse. It's marketed as a horror movie. First of all, it's shot in 4:3. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
On like some sort of crazy format. It looks like it looks 16 mil or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's film for sure.
It's definitely film. I just don't know what type of film.
Yeah,
but it's some sort of
32.
shitty format. Yeah, it's like 16 or something. It's something shittier.
Yeah. Robert Eggers was like, I'd like to shoot on film. They're like 32, and he's like, no, that's too good. That's too good for what I got in mind.
Dude,
here.
this thing straight up is like. The thing about Robert Eggers is when he makes these weird David Lynchian kind of films, you're not only just in like some sort of surrealist world, you're in like the fucking past.
Yeah.
Like,
I should also mention my girlfriend also hates The Witch, which makes sense as to why she didn't like
see,
this
The Witch
movie.
is also a 5.
Yeah,
though.
The Witch is also extremely fucking
Have you seen
good.
The Witch yet?
I have seen The Witch.
Oh, yeah, you've seen The Witch? Okay,
yeah, I
perfect.
saw it like, I feel like it was right around the time we went to Cuff.
Right,
I finally saw it. But yeah, this movie it's awesome. But I need to make this very, very clear. You have to be like, if you're a listener of this show, I really hope that your taste in film lines up directly with ours, because if it doesn't, don't see this movie.
The thing about this is it's intentionally grotesque. It's an intentionally very diversive movie like everything about it is on purpose.
Yeah, like it's intentionally a very slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love. My favorite movie being 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Absolutely. Which
actually, when I kept thinking about this movie, I was like, you know what? This is actually kind of a lot like that movie.
Sort of.
Just on a lighthouse. Now it wouldn't be Robert Pattinson if he wasn't covered in cum, dude.
These guys can't stop whacking off, dude.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit! There's a lot of cum scenes in this movie. Yeah. But what this movie really is about is you have these two guys. There's an old man played masterfully by Willem Dafoe.
Oh, he's the greatest of all time.
That might be performance of the year.
Absolutely.
I think it might be performance of the year. I gave Willem Dafoe performance of the year last year, and I'm pretty sure the year before that as well.
Yeah, you did.
For
actually.
Florida Project and for that fucking Vince Van Gogh movie he did that he was fucking awesome in. And you know what? Looks like he's gunning for it again. And if boy doesn't get statue,
dude, no one in the Academy will watch this movie and be like,
they will.
No, they won't watch this movie. No one in the Academy will watch this movie.
No, they have to. They just do I gotta go over to the Academy and bash some fucking skulls to get Defoe a statue?
Yes, you might have to.
What the fuck? Look at that. Look, here's the thing. This movie is masterfully acted all around. Pattinson is also very good.
Yeah.
But Defoe is giving him a clinic this whole movie.
Absolutely.
Defoe's the king, man. Yeah, Defoe's performance here is one of and this movie is so chock full of monologues, and they're all insane nonsense.
Kind of hard to hear.
You had a hard time hearing him?
Just because he's barely moving his mouth, and I was at a shitty theater. But
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I went to the nice one uptown, and the nice theater uptown.
Mm-hmm.
Could hear it. I could hear it. I think it must have.
That's good.
It must have been because I know what theater you went to, and that is a shitty.
Yeah,
theater.
well, it's the great thing about that theater, the downtown theater, is that it's right beside a gym, and you can hear people dropping weights the entire time. And in Theater 1, right beside the gym.
Oh, and this movie is all about ambiance, so that must have fucked it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then on the other side, something was playing. I could hear that.
Yeah,
and then I could hear on the other side people dropping weights. So I was like, huh.
Good. Wait, hold on. When you were at Eau Claire, could you hear Terminator playing in the next one over?
I don't think it was Terminator. It wasn't so intense. There was a few music swells. I don't know what it would have been.
Because that's when I talk about that theater, that's the classic example I always use from when I want to see Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
Yeah, because 1 and 2 are beside each other, and 3 and 4 are beside each other. The rest are fine. 5 and 6 are fine.
Yeah. So The Lighthouse. Well, Robert Eggers and his brother, David Eggers. Is that the name of his brother?
Yeah,
who wrote
something like that. And I do like that this is a movie where it's it is a movie where the lighthouse kind of signifies toxic masculinity. It's very it's very
sort of,
It's very wiener shaped. And they even like do
phallic.
that. It's very phallic. They do that at one point, even when like Pattinson's jerking off, and they kind of like shift the perspective of the lighthouse, so they make it very obvious.
When I was buying my ticket, they might as well have just been like, "All right, sir, that'll be $25 to see Willem Dafoe fuck a lighthouse." And I'm like, "That's correct. Here is my money.
The lighthouse.
Here's my money. Can I pay more?"
But I think, yeah, exactly. But I think like the what's so good to me about this movie is just like the kind of spiral of madness that like not only you see the actors take, but also like when after I was done this, I'm like, the world is over.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the fuck to do now.
Because everything around them is like, because like this is one of those movies where I wonder how much of it is real. Like even like
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, even the storm. Like did the storm even really happen?
Yeah.
Were they ever even fucking at this
right.
lighthouse? There's even that line where he's like, "How long we been here? 5 weeks?
Yeah.
2 days?" Oh man. The movie it does become incredibly fun when the two characters become best friends for no reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how it would go though, I think, because like they're stuck on this rock together for a foreseeable amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to try and enjoy these people. And like even Willem Dafoe like being a Nazi,
Right.
like being a Nazi about the way that the lighthouse is cleaned.
Yeah.
Is wicked fun.
I think when you watch this movie, there's definitely going to be different interpretations. Like, there's obviously just the straight ahead, they're at a lighthouse keeper. But as you mentioned, you don't know how much of it's real. You don't know if they're in, like, purgatory. You don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And I think there's going to be, it's going to be really interesting to read the essays that come out of this thing from film school, because this thing, much like The Witch, it's packed with like so much subtext that I almost can't keep up.
Yo,
with it
no,
all.
I couldn't keep up for sure. You know, I'm a dumb guy though, so
I definitely like it. This is one that like I don't really rewatch movies, but this is definitely one that I'm going to watch again.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
many
this one.
times.
Maybe this is like a Blu-ray day one, which is insane because it's shot on 16. Like it's not gonna look good on Blu-ray. It's shot on 16 and 4x3.
I think it looks beautiful. But
the cinematography
but that's
is
that's
the
in
best
the
I've
same
seen.
way that I think Nosferatu still looks beautiful.
Oh, I actually watched that this week.
Did you?
I watched tons of Halloween-y stuff this week, but I watched nothing.
Funny you say that. David Eggers is making the remake of Nosferatu.
Ooh, hell yeah! I'm kind of into that.
And you know it's going to be in 4:3 in black and white, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah! Might as well not even remake it. Just fucking remaster the original, put it out, say you made it.
It's going to be close.
Yeah,
It's going to be close, dude.
It's gonna star Max Schreck, who's been dead for many decades.
Yeah, but the thing about that is you do want it to have like the only thing that I don't like about Nosferatu is that it's silent. It would be much better if there was creepy motherfuckers talking, you know?
Yeah. But like the version that I watched this past week was a 2000.
The Willem Dafoe one?
No. It was a 2000.
Remaster.
Remaster.
Right.
And that movie is so crazy. I'm just going to go off the rails for a minute because that movie is so crazy because there's only one way to distinguish whether or not it's night or day, and that's whether or not it's sepia tone or
Right.
fully blue.
Yeah.
Like it's full blue. I'm like, why is this movie so blue?
That's the remaster though, isn't it?
I think so. I think that's all they did to change it, and then they added like the music.
Yeah, new music
yeah.
and probably more concise title cards.
Yeah. Nope. Not concise title cards, dude. They're hard to read.
Right.
They're using that wacky 1920s font.
Right, I do remember that. I have like the
Hard to
public
read.
domain copy on one of those public domain DVDs.
Oh, hell yeah. Is it good?
I really like the print of it, but like the music is fucking horrible, dude. It's like bing, 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 bing. You know, it's like that bullshit freeware music.
Yeah. The one that I have, the one that I watched is pretty good though.
Yeah, that's good. I like when it has an orchestra. Anyway, enough about silent films.
Yeah, let's talk about The Lighthouse, which might as well. You know what? Might as well. Might as well have been. It would have made just as much sense.
That's true, but also most of the best stuff is from the monologues, though.
I agree, and like, because like this movie is a
The
movie
visuals
about,
are insane. It's a fucking nightmare, dude.
Yeah, it does look like a nightmare. There's fucking tentacles flying everywhere.
Hell yeah, dude.
There's weird mermaid pussies.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun.
And it does feel like David Eggers is going to have a very David Lynchian kind of trajectory to his career.
Yeah, like he's definitely moving.
Like start with these surrealist, like Eraserhead type stuff, and then move into even more bizarre stuff, hopefully, like flesh guns in existence.
Everybody loves a good flesh gun, especially David Lynch and David Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg, dude.
And now David Eggers.
Dude, when I see
All
a
the
David
Davids.
Cronenberg flesh gun, dude, holy shit.
That's the
I lose
shit
my
when
mind.
it's coming out of James Wood's side for some reason.
Because this is kind of, to me, this is kind of like the most optimum mix of David Lynch surrealism and David Cronenberg body horror.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's like some of the stuff that happens in this movie is crazy disturbing. Especially the final shot of this movie. It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my entire life.
This is fucking, and it's crazy that like almost every scene is like a Renaissance painting. It's so fucking perfectly.
The problem that I had, so when I went to see this movie, it was a pretty packed theater, shockingly enough.
People want to people hear about these kind of like film fest movies, and they do want to see them. Well, regardless of them never liking a single one besides Parasite, people will always go see the film fest movies, right? What was that other one that A24 made with the coming in the box in space?
Afterlife?
That's not what it was
High
called.
Life.
No.
The Coming movie with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
It's called High Life.
Is it High Life?
It's High Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people wanted to see that one, and no one liked that movie. But that's the thing that happens with these film festival movies.
Well, and I was very surprised by the audience here because, like, you watch the trailers for this movie, and they're even running they're running promos for this movie at Cineplex, and I'm like, don't do that. No one's seeing this. But they're running promos for it. But the way they're marketing it is the same way they marketed Hereditary, where they're like, it's a horror movie.
It is a horror movie, though.
It is, but not quite the same kind of horror movie that they're marketing, I think.
Well, yeah,
and
maybe.
that's more of a problem with Hereditary, I think.
That's more of a problem with A24's marketing, but it does work, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's true. It gets people into theaters, and I was so surprised by how respectful this audience was.
That's good.
This was a great... I know that you were at Eau Claire, so you were the only person...
There's like 8 old people, and they did not like it.
Yeah. Did they stay even?
They stayed, yeah.
They stayed past
They seemed like they were like filmies, though. They seemed like they were like the film festival type people.
Okay. They were licking their pen and writing stuff.
They didn't like it, but they all were like, that was a good experience.
Yeah, you got to experience it at least. I think it is a good experience.
And I think that is probably going to be the main reaction is, I don't like this. Because it is fucking it's one of the grossest movies I've ever seen. It's fucking grotesque.
Yeah, it's wickedly unpleasant.
It's wildly unpleasant.
It's wickedly unpleasant, but it's very, very like it is a work of art.
Sure.
And I don't think I had this argument with someone a few weeks ago. I don't think that something to be considered good art necessarily has to be entertaining.
I agree completely.
And yeah, I had somebody who argued with me about that, and then they started saying that Victorian art isn't art because it's not entertaining, and I was like,
obviously
what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, entertainment's the fucking variable that doesn't matter in that equation.
Yeah, absolutely. And this movie is very artistic. And here's the thing, is that I think there's a big difference between being engaged and being entertained. And this movie certainly engages you, but it has no interest in entertaining you.
No.
Absolutely no interest in entertaining you. Now,
by proxy, I was entertained, but
yeah,
that's just because I'm a fucking sociopath, though.
Yeah, you're also a sicko.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
When you watch those porns where the guy steps on the girl's throat, yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? But this movie, like, it's like, I know that if you came to me and you said I was not engaged or entertained by The Lighthouse, I'm like, good.
No shit.
Yeah, good.
I'd be like, no shit.
I wasn't entertained by it, but I was definitely engaged.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this movie sucks you in. And
Dude, it fucking holds onto your throat like one of those porns, dude.
Stop talking about the porns, dude.
One of those porns where it fucking mashes her face into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I like where you're going here. But I love this movie. Like, this is one of the...
It's a fucking... like, so when I was walking out, someone's like, one of the old people was like, what do you think of that? Because I was the only other person there. I'm like, it's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, of course
it's a fucking masterpiece.
It's a fucking masterpiece.
And they were like... doing this shit, you know?
The screening that I went to, there was clearly a bunch of filmies there.
Yeah.
Because right before the conversation, I heard this guy like 3 rows back talking about the Joker, and I'm sitting here laughing, but he's 3 rows back, so he doesn't know I'm laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, he's talking about Joker, and he's like, I took a bunch of my university friends who aren't into film to see Joker.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh boy, here we go. And he was like, then when we walked out, they were all like, that was the best movie I've ever seen. And I was like, guys, we saw this 10 seconds ago. We need to unpack this for a little while before we make that distinction. And I was like, this guy's my favorite guy of all time because he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready to bring Joker down to a 3 yet?
I am actually, yeah.
There you go. There you go, everybody.
It pegged down. I am ready to bring it down to a 3. My written review is already published at a 4, so I'm just gonna leave it.
Of course, you're the Ebert type where he just left his 2 stars on like classic movies, and he's like, I think they're 4s now, because he only had the 4-point scale. Right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna undo my own work.
No, I agree.
So now I don't know if we've made this clear enough, but I'm gonna look right in the camera. Lighthouse is a 5, guys.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies that you shouldn't know anything about going in, but know you're gonna have a bad time.
Here's what you need to know going in: Lighthouse, Pattinson, coming. That's all you need to know. That's the whole.
It's way grosser than you expect.
It's way grosser than, especially like, I don't want to get too into spoilery territory, but some of that stuff near the end where they're fighting.
Yeah.
Oh man, that gets pretty grotesque, man. It gets fucking unbelievably unpleasant. It's great though. I love it. 5 stars on the Chatsky scale.
Perfect.
One of the best
5
movies
stars,
of the year.
obviously.
You can look forward to me talking about The Lighthouse a little bit more when we count down our top 10 movies
making
of
my
the
top
year.
10, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be up there.
There hasn't been that many good movies this year. This obviously is going to make it on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, to be fair, I was looking at it today, and I've given out more 5 stars than half stars this year.
Oh, good for you.
Which is nice.
I don't think I have, but I've watched a lot of shitty movies.
Absolutely. All right, what are we doing next? Fast?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Nope, not yet.
That's the J. Rule song, though.
Yeah, I know. The J. Rule song. J. Rule, Too Fast.
Fucking Ja Rule.
The Fast and the Furious, the first one. Now,
hell yeah, dude, baby. This is my fucking comfort food. I've been watching this movie for 20 years, and every time I get the exact same reaction.
That's funny you say that.
Love it.
It's funny you say that because as I was watching this movie last night, it occurred to me that I maybe haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's been so long since I've seen this movie.
I almost didn't rewatch it because I can recite this movie verbatim, dude.
Well, that's me with Too Fast, but
Yeah.
But The Fast and Furious, the first one, I guess I just haven't seen it in forever because I forgot almost everything about it.
Yeah, and it's the humble beginnings, baby. And maybe to me, like when you let's just talk about Vin for a minute, because Vin to me is the heart and soul of this fucking franchise, and in this one specifically, maybe the most charming he's ever been. You know,
I agree.
You know, like, you beat me, you beat me.
Yeah, that's so good.
You almost had me.
I almost had you. I watched this on Amazon Prime. Didn't know it was on there.
Hell yeah,
Popped it on. Paul Walker is terrible. He is fucking so bad. And you know what? Vin Diesel's not that good either.
No, I wouldn't say that anybody in this is very good at acting, but it doesn't really matter, in my opinion.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez is powered down in this movie, dude.
Yeah, but she's never been the superstar, to be fair.
Bad, dude. Yeah, but I do agree that Vin Diesel, while not very good, he is puffing it up a little bit.
Oh, I don't think he's good in this. I think he certainly gets much better of an actor in the 20 years that this franchise has been around. But to me, this is the most charming he's ever been. He almost feels like in the new ones, he feels like a parody of this character.
Yeah, because this feels more like a real person in this movie.
This movie completely feels like it's a genuine piece of work, whereas the other ones feel so manufactured in comparison.
I agree, and like,
not that I dislike the other ones. I like them all a lot.
I like them all. Too Fast, I think, also follows that same. Now, again, I've seen that one a lot, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, for sure.
But in this one, The Fast and the Furious, Vin Diesel's character feels like a real character who's not written around tropes. Whereas in the later films, all it is like, hey man, want a Corona? Family. You know,
dude.
That's his 2 lines. He asks if people want a Corona, and then he yells family. That's his 2 lines in the later film.
Yeah, and like, if you're just like, I saw an interview, I think, or read an article or something where it was like the writer of this franchise, he's like, all I did was like see in the LA Times like a 2-paragraph thing about street racers in LA, and that's how I based the entire franchise around it. And like, clearly he just like stole a lot of shit from like Point Break and like other movies like this, but then he added his own like Speed for sure, and then added his own like kind of like 2000s weird like street racing and like that 2000s like weird toxic masculinity.
Oh, it's super toxic. We were watching this last night, and you know what the first thing we noted is? Man, those cars are fucking hideous, dude.
But in 2000, this is like a time capsule of what people thought was cool in 2000.
Yeah.
And that's why
flames on the side.
And that's
of the
why
car.
it's so blue flames.
Yeah.
That's why it's so fucking amazing, because it's like a peek into a world that's not that far away.
Yeah.
but like it's like the pseudo cool guy, like fucking Paul, like I've never really thought Paul Walker was cool, but in this, like you can really tell he's putting on that pseudo cool guy, and it's just like it's so 2000s. I know so many people in 2000 that were exactly like fucking Paul Walker.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I completely agree.
Because that was just the culture at the time, and this kind of like very specific masculinity related to like cars and gang work, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And like mixing the gang work with street racing.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
There you go. Because then you got to add that ladies into it, you know, like the fucking like
Yeah.
fucking dancing ladies. Because that's part of car culture, and that still is.
I love the one girl that's like even if you win or you lose, you get to fuck me.
Yeah, Ja Rule.
Yeah. And then
Ja Rule girl.
Yeah. And then Ja Rule goes up to her afterwards and she's like, "You didn't fucking win. Don't touch me."
What's your problem? You didn't win. I recite the movie verbatim, dude.
Yeah.
Seen it so many times.
She did say another word, but I'm not allowed to say it.
Well, yeah.
But this movie, it's so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
and here's the thing: is it feels pretty dialed back comparatively. But if you think of this movie as just a movie that came out in 2001, bare bones, without knowing what it would eventually turn into, it's wacky, dude.
Yeah, it's insane.
And there's only one heist scene in this movie, and it's not that wild.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not like it's just them getting on the thing, and he basically gets shot by a guy with a shotgun, and that's it.
And then they get off.
Well, a lot of characters die in this, and I was wondering, I'm like, why does the ADHD guy? Oh, right, he gets murdered, because there's a lot of characters in this that could have been used later.
Yeah, because that was like one of the first things that we noted too. Is like because there's the Fast and Furious crew that you see in like Fate and the Furious.
Yeah, fucking Jordana Brewster and Michelle Rodriguez and Vin.
Ja Rule's still there.
Well, no, Ja Rule's only in this one. It's Ludacris in the next
right?
one.
I'm sorry. I got Ja Rule and Luda mixed up there.
Well, they do play a very similar character in both.
Yeah,
and I think they almost like hint at he's like the replacement for the Ja Rule character in the Too Fast.
Yeah, and the thing too is that like almost none of the crew is the same here.
Yeah,
you know, like it's because like you don't have The Rock, you don't have Jason Statham or Luke Evans, or like what, Charlize Theron in there now, I guess.
Everybody's in there.
Yeah,
Keanu even.
Is Keanu in there?
Well, you'll have to watch Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh shit! I didn't know Keanu was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Well, you'll have to watch Hobbs and Shaw.
What the fuck? Keanu's in Hobbs and Shaw?
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, well now I'm gonna look it up, and if it's true, I'm watching it tonight. God, I will watch anything with Keanu in it, though. Yeah, and then this movie, like, there is like a genuine feature to this movie that I feel like is lost in the later films, where this does just feel more like its own thing. You know, this movie just feels like a movie. However,
right, because even to the point where Paul Walker has an arc of his own, you know, like he's an undercover cop, and he's just doing it for that. Then he becomes part of the family, and he loves these people, but at the same time he is still a cop. So
yeah. Well, the craziest thing about this movie too is that the movie actually kind of tricks you as well. Again, I hadn't seen this in 20 years. I forgot what happened, but the movie tricks you because the entire time Paul Walker is in denial, and you're kind of in denial with him.
Yeah.
About like who is doing like all these heists. They're like it's Dominic Toretto. He's like no, it couldn't be that. And then,
right.
And then like the climax comes around, and you're like, son of a bitch, I was tricked. It was Toretto the whole time.
Yeah, because they like leave those little breadcrumbs, like the Asian guy's warehouse, like full
DVD
of players and stuff, and that's like what was being stolen.
That was the most 2000s line of all time, when the guy's like they got trucks full of DVD players and video cameras, and I'm like, Jesus
yeah, dude,
Christ.
it is truly one of the most 2001 things of all time, and that's why I love it.
They're like, a truck full of DVD players and video cameras is worth $1 million. I'm like, man, you couldn't sell that at $40 for at like a pawn shop.
Exactly.
Now.
You'd have to like go to one of those fucking like auctions where you sell 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And, like people would be like, I guess $75.
Yeah, man. But I love this movie. I actually really, really love it. I don't think it's the best.
Well,
especially the ending is terrible. Like, the ending really sucks in this one.
Why do you think that?
Because it just kind of, like, it feels like they're baiting you for more, which is fine because they're going to make 15 more. That's fine.
I don't know. I think if you really had that connect, like if Dom and Paul Walker had that connection, I think
Brian Spillner,
right? Because he doesn't go by O'Brien yet.
Yeah.
Because he's undercover. I think he would let him get away.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but it just felt like it felt inconclusive. But I mean, I guess that's why Too Fast, Too Furious exists.
Yeah, but he's not in it.
I'm totally fine.
Fucking Vin Diesel isn't in that movie.
Also, the car races in this movie, whoa, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, dude, they're whoa crazy because it's like they also have like that weird thing where they're clearly on a green screen and there's like shit moving by fast.
Yeah.
Like they're whoa crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. And this I think this invented NOS, right? Like
yeah. Hey guys, you gotta stop hitting the NOS button. They're in the NOS button every 3
but
seconds.
this invented that shit, right?
Yeah. And in every single race, somebody hits the NOS too fast, and then
Yeah.
someone's like, "You hit it too fast, son," and then they lose because they hit the NOS too
You
fast.
almost had me. I fucking love that scene so much.
That's my favorite scene. Why are you smiling? I almost had you. Winning is winning. Whether you win by an inch or by a mile.
Fucking Vin Diesel, baby.
Yeah, Vin Diesel. 4 stars on the Chadsky scale.
Absolutely 4 stars. I think it was a fucking classic, honestly.
4 stars.
Until they get you too fast, and then they bust the shit doors off, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but when I was writing the
I saw it.
when I was writing the schedule, I put Too Fast, Too Furious, and then brackets a perfect 5. But we will talk about Too Fast, Too Furious, and you guys already know we're giving it a 5, but you'll
But you can listen.
you get to hear us talk about it next week.
But it's actually been a while since I've seen that one, but I do love that one a lot.
I feel like I saw it last year, but maybe
When
it
they
was a couple
fucking
years
jump
ago.
off into the boat, we'll save it. We'll save it.
Whoa, Luda. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's a precursor to Tokyo Drift.
Oh, you actually might like Tokyo Drift this time around.
Dude, am I gonna like? I haven't seen it since like 05.
You might like it this time around. The only problem is the 40-year-old that plays a 16-year-old. Besides that, it's a fucking great movie.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's okay because by Furious 7 he's 40.
Yeah,
Which is when
exactly.
he's the age he's supposed to be. Let's talk about what do we want to talk about next? What do we have left? I forget. Oh, we got
Eli.
Eli.
Yeah,
Okay, let's talk about Eli. Very interesting, Netflix.
Extremely interesting stuff.
Very interesting. Eli is almost kind of a shame of a movie
I
because
agree.
I think like the first 45 minutes to 50 minutes is really promising.
Right. The first 2 acts are kind of like a Stephen King like medical horror where like
It's general, but it's fine.
yeah, it's not anything crazy. You've got a kid who maybe has some sort of telekinesis power, but you can't really tell because he's kind of being
Well, and he's allergic to air or something like that.
yeah, none of that really mattered
Oh
to
no,
me.
he has no white blood cells. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
see, it all seemed fake, so none of it registered to me. Like when it comes to science shit, you got to make it sound a little bit real.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough.
Because this to me all sounded super fake, so I'm like, I'm not going to pay attention to any of the science.
Yeah,
But don't worry, it's not a science movie.
yeah.
In fact, it is the opposite of that.
it is the opposite of that. It's a religion movie.
Oh, and they sneak it up on you too.
Yeah, they sneak
that
it-
third act reveal that it turns out to be no. It's not. He's not like a Stephen King medical kid. He's a fucking no joke Satan kid.
He's Little Evil starring fucking Adam Scott.
Yeah.
That's what he becomes.
Essentially.
The third act of this movie is so fucking stupid.
Oh, I think it's terrible, but also I think it's way crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it is way crazy, and it's very stupid.
It's nonsense for sure.
It's absolute nonsense. I was pissed like as this was all going on. I was like, "Oh, okay, great. I guess I'm not going to enjoy this at all." Yeah. So turns out he's the devil, and like the problem with that is that you're following this character the whole time, and the movie convinces you that there is nothing wrong with him.
It's certainly a twist that I didn't need.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a twist that I didn't need, nor did I care about.
And it's one of those things where, and the reason you don't care about it is because they didn't plant any seeds for it, thinking that it would be a better twist. But that's not how you do a twist. You need to plant at least a little bit of seeds.
Yeah, come on, guys. Can you look up foreshadowing, please? For the love of fuck.
Otherwise, you've got this feels like 2 separate movies.
Don't just tell me this is Cure for Wellness and then change your mind at the end of the movie, all right?
Cure for Wellness knows exactly what the fuck it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Insanity.
Because it's one movie. This is Cure for Wellness for two acts, and then they're like, just kidding. We want it to be The Omen.
Yeah, then it's The Omen.
Fuck off.
And it's like, okay. So now you're going to have just like 20, because the movie's pretty short. So it's like.
And look, the twist is a nice idea, and mixing these two genres of like the medical horror and the demon horror is a great idea. But man, could it have been done like a little gracefully?
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Instead of just like kicking you in the face, being like, "This is religious horror now."
yeah. They're like, congratulations, you've just spent the last 2 hours believing in Jesus. And it's like, I've been tricked.
Oh, God, I love Jesus now.
Well, I always loved Jesus. But,
Yeah, well, and he loves you.
Yeah, that might not be true. But
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and like performances here, woof, dude. Woof.
Yeah.
They're not good. Hey, that Stranger Things girl? Okay, we got it. Stranger Things is the only thing she can do. Let's wrap her up.
Yeah, I forgot she was in it
Don't
even.
even.
She's so inconsequential to the plot.
Yeah, she has absolutely nothing to do with the plot, and then she just drops like way too much exposition at the very end of the
way
movie.
too much exposition.
Why are you giving me so much exposition
Here,
right at the
I'm
end?
gonna explain the devil is your dad to you. And it's like,
Oh, also, if you're going to tell me that this lady got so desperate for a baby that she fucked the devil, you have to go into that
You
more.
have to go into it
You
more.
have to talk to me more about this.
you can't just brush
What
it off.
What does that... What do you mean the devil's his fault? You fucked the devil. You got to talk to me about
Dude,
this.
it's like maybe my favorite scene is when he's got the people upside down and they're like crosses and
yeah,
they light
they're
on fire.
Yeah.
That's great, but the what they're talking about during that is so
Stupid.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Like it's just like she's like, your father is not your father, it's the devil, and he's like, okay, and then he just accepts it.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I guess. Well, I mean, if you were doing shit that he was doing, you might accept the devil's your dad.
Yeah, if
but-
you were on fire because of holy water and then fucking doing devil shit, maybe. But also, he doesn't like probe into that anymore.
Yeah.
Being like, why is the devil my father?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, like the ghosts in this movie, all set on all of it. I don't even understand what the ghosts are doing because at one point he's like, "Are they trying to hurt me? Are they trying to help me?" And guess what? That's never explained, nor does it matter.
Neither.
Yeah.
They weren't doing neither.
They were just fucking with him for no reason.
Because like it does almost feel like a haunted house movie for a little bit.
Yeah, which would have been like it almost feels like a Bayona type orphanage shit.
You could have went that direction. It would have been fine. You could have leaned in more to the science, and it would have been fine. But
You guys,
one thing you can't do is turn it into a religious horror where he's the devil in the last act.
Yeah, without a single inkling that that's what you're going to do. It's like they changed their mind on the movie they wanted to write.
No, I just think it's someone that wrote a shitty draft and gave it to Netflix, and then he's like, I don't really flesh out much of it.
And they're like, all right, we'll take it to print.
They're
And
like,
he's like,
we
whoa,
don't
whoa, whoa,
care. They're like fucking how Asylum Films has a submit scripts button on their website. They're like, perfect. Let's make it.
Perfect. They like open up a door to like a room full of directors waiting for a project, and they're like, all right, who wants it? They're like all grabbing for it.
That's funny that they would have a roster room.
Yeah, they're all just sitting there waiting.
They come in every day because they're on payroll.
Yeah,
and they
they're-
just have to sit there.
Yeah, just like ravenous wolves.
And they're like, they're getting pretty antsy. We need something to give to them. And they're like, we got this shitty devil one. And they're like, all right, there you go.
And then somebody comes along and is like, excuse me, I have a very good script for a movie called Laundromat. And they're like, only one guy can make this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and we will be disagreeing on that apparently.
Oh, man, this movie, it sucks.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Hey, guys, you could have just gone the orphanage route. You would have got a perfectly fine 3-star. Now you're saddling yourself with a 1 because you fucked it up. Sorry, guys. 1 star.
$2.
$2. Wait, 2 for buck?
No, it's $2.
$2. Okay, I see.
Absolutely $2.
Yeah, absolutely $2. I agree. And that last act is absolutely nothing. It means nothing. That is the problem. Is that the movie doesn't work hard enough to get you there, so it means nothing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our last movie of the day.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about The Laundromat. Whoo boy!
Oh, I'm so tired, dude. I'm so tired of Adam McKay's shitty these things that he's created,
Yeah.
these explainer movies, these fucking explainer movies explaining politics from these left-leaning fucking writers that think they're geniuses that don't actually understand anything they're fucking talking about. This is the same rage I had during Vice, dude. The
Yeah.
exact same rage.
Yeah, you were pretty pissed. This movie is condescending.
Yeah.
This
And
movie
this is what I was telling you about Vice that you didn't see.
Yeah, and this movie does. It does.
To me,
talk
they're
down
the
to you.
exact same movie.
Yeah, because here's the thing, guys. I know what an offshore company is.
I know what the Panama Papers are, in fact. in fact, I've read some of them.
Now that I did not know about, and it's pretty interesting. So here's the problem with this movie is that it's pretty good for the first half hour
Yeah.
because it's a narrative.
Yeah, and then it turns into like
Anthologies?
a fucking anthology movie.
Yeah, and like here's the thing.
And it turned into the worst thing I'd ever seen at that point.
The thing is like that stuff with Meryl Streep at the beginning of the movie tricked me because I'm like, oh, this is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, this is so fucking good. And then Gary Oldman comes out. He's like, hello, I am Gary Oldman.
Banderas is actually awesome, though.
Banderas is good. And you know what? Gary Oldman is also good in this movie.
Yeah,
in
but
fact,
he's
this movie,
just a wild man.
This
though.
movie is chock full of fucking good-ass performances.
What a waste, though.
Yeah, I know. Meryl Streep is so good. And that final monologue for Meryl Streep.
Oh.
Fuck
Dude,
you.
I was like I was
Fuck
watching this at like
you.
1 a.m. last night, and I was like reaching for my pistol, dude. I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah, as soon as she puts on like the Statue of Liberty costume, I'm like, fuck you. Who gives a shit?
Fucking God. Look, Steven Soderbergh, you liar. You
Yeah.
said you were retiring. You make 2 movies a year. You're working more than most people in Hollywood.
Yeah, you're a fucking liar. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm mostly fine with it because you're proficient. Because
Sure.
this movie is made with red cameras. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, and that's another thing though. He's like, I'm never not gonna make a movie not on an iPhone again.
Liar.
Next fucking movie he makes is on Reds.
Oh, maybe Netflix wouldn't let him do another one.
Maybe that might be true.
Because I don't know how much that basketball one. I don't know how well that did for Netflix.
Didn't do well.
Yeah, didn't do numbers. But this movie, like, here's the thing: is that I'm conflicted with this movie because there's a lot of it that I like. There's a lot of it I like, and then there's the bullshit, like the fucking Steven Soderbergh looking you directly in the eye.
Dude, the explainer shit ruins any movie for me now. It's like it's almost ruined comedy in a way to me now. Like, because if you watch any like kind of like political comedy show, they all just have explainer sections in them now, and I'm like, Adam McKay has literally ruined the left.
Yeah,
like you guys aren't that smart.
he's ruining political comedy.
Yeah.
And because like this movie,
remember when Stephen Colbert used to just be like jokes for the most part on.
Yeah, there's
like,
no joke. We talked about
political
this
comedy.
we talked about Vice, but
Yeah, well now it's like when you watch like the Trevor Noah type shit, anything like that show, or even any of the like political whatever the shows are on. I don't even know any.
What's
of them.
that British guy who's not funny?
Oh, John Oliver's
Yeah,
the
that
worst,
guy.
dude. He's one of the biggest offenders for explainer comedy now, because all he does is stare into the camera and explain shit.
Yeah.
How is it funny?
Just-
and people are laughing at it. I'm like, what are you laughing at? There's no jokes. He's explaining shit. It's not funny.
yeah, he's explaining shit that's actually pretty awful. Like,
And he's also not explaining it well. That's the problem with this. Is written by some sort of fucking moron that doesn't even understand the Panama Papers, even a little bit.
I don't think it's written by a moron. I think it's written for morons.
Maybe,
which is
but
why
either
it's
way is
condescending.
that might be worse.
That is. It's way worse because this movie talks down to the audience so much, maybe more than Vice, to be honest.
Yeah,
because-
I think Vice is probably better written, so you don't notice it as much. But Vice is the same shit.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
The Big Short is, but like at least it does that one. It does that one that in a way that is actually funny.
Yeah, and that one's not only funny, but also the narrative is entertaining.
Yeah,
This movie, the narrative is entertaining sometimes.
only sometimes.
Like, only
it's by the way, it's 90 minutes.
90. Yeah, it's really short, and it's so crazy because like sometimes you'll be watching and you'll be like, I'm really interested in Meryl Streep. I know I like this Nevada thing that happened. She's going like she's doing detective work, and you're like, this is the shit I want to see.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, this is Charlie, and you're like, who the fuck? Why am I watching this guy for 20 minutes? Fuck his daughter's friend. Why do I care about
Dude,
this?
I did that was when I checked out completely, when it just turned into a different movie. I'm like, what the fuck? I had to Google it to make sure I was watching the right movie.
Yeah, and then when they got to like the Chinese embassy stuff and like the Chinese politics stuff, I was like, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on here, but I know that I'm out.
Yeah.
I know for sure I'm out of whatever the fuck is going on here. Cause like I don't know, like I don't know how else to explain it other than like they had something very interesting. Cause if this was just a story about what happened to Meryl Streep and
Yes.
who is that guy? The guy from Titanic, James Cromwell.
Cromwell?
Yeah, Cromwell
Yeah.
just in there,
Rest in peace.
and David Schwimmer, who is by the way terrible in this movie. Fuck, he's bad.
Every time he was on screen, I'm like, God damn it. What is this bullshit?
I was just trying to save some money. That's all I wanted to do. Fuck off, David Schwimmer. You have money. You don't need to do this. You have money. If you direct another Simon Pegg movie, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
I actually like that movie.
I do not. But yeah, and like that is like the shit like I am okay with, and like them calling around and them like Jeffrey Wright for some reason not like what has he got like 8 lines?
I don't know, dude. There's so many.
Will Forte 3 lines?
Yeah, maybe less. I think it's 1 line. Dude, this movie is chocked full of talent that they just decided we're not going to use any of this.
Also, again, like I don't want to sound like I'm an idiot either and that I wasn't watching this movie, but I'll tell you, my brain was shutting off at a point. What the fuck was the Will Forte plotline even about? What was that with Chris Parnell?
Yeah, Chris Parnell.
Chris Parnell was there. I don't think Chris Parnell said a line.
No, I don't think he did either.
I don't think he did.
It does feel like they just like recorded a bunch of shit. They're like, how do we make a movie out of this?
And then they're like, what was that? Panama Papers?
Yeah.
What was that went on? That fucking Big Short was pretty popular, right?
Yeah.
And this is like the same sort of shit. And I knew that you were gonna equate it to the same sort of shit because
it is.
It is.
Fucking like Adam McKay has ruined cinema. I think.
Yeah.
If they're gonna keep making stuff like this, I think cinema might be ruined.
Now let me tell you something that actually just kind of fucked me up as we were reviewing this, because until you said all this, it never occurred to me that this movie's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Like, it never even occurred to me. Like, I'm like, oh, what an interesting drama I've just seen. You know? It never occurred to me.
This is all of these movies are comedies.
But
they're not funny anymore because all they do is explain shit.
And this movie does a really bad job of explaining shit too,
Yes.
which is the problem. Like, it's explaining like mutual funds and offshore companies.
But I do really believe that's because the writer doesn't understand it. I think it is part of the writer doesn't understand what the Panama Papers are about, and also doesn't and is also trying to explain it to someone.
There's actually even a part of this movie where Antonio Banderas is just looking directly into the camera and just saying bank terms that have nothing to do with anything.
Right.
And like, it is crazy. Now, again, like I'm conflicted with this movie because that first
it's
half
funny
hour.
because at the film festival I saw Pain and Glory, the new Antonio Banderas movie, a Spanish movie.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best movies of the year. And then you watch this and you're like, oh, Antonio. I'm sorry.
Antonio. He's good, though.
He is good in this.
He is good. And Gary Oldman's good. You know what? His German accent's it's getting better.
Pretty good now.
Yeah, it's getting better, you know?
Sounds German at least.
And
now.
of course, I feel like I already said this, but I'm going to say it again because it's important. Meryl Streep is so fucking good at acting.
So only on screen for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but she's so good. There's even a point where Meryl Streep is having a phone conversation with herself, and as I'm watching that, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, and like I just wish that the movie was about Meryl Streep.
Well, that's the thing. It's like this could have. There's definitely a good movie here. Like it could have been good. But like, just make an interesting movie. You don't have to talk to the camera all the time. You don't have to do that. You can just make an interesting movie about Meryl Streep investigating this stuff. You know?
And you can make it like because like the thing because it happened like that thing with Meryl Streep and her husband drowning on the boat, and then the insurance was through an offshore company. It didn't actually exist. That's interesting. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Why did it become about absolutely nothing?
Yeah.
Why did you have to trickle it out? And then, because like, here's the thing: is that they have all these plots, and like in your mind, you're like, this is gonna come full circle at some point, and it never does. The thing with the fucking the African guy with the giant house, it's never mentioned before or after it happens.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Ah! Why did they make this movie like this? Jesus Christ, man. Because it sucked me in. It sucked me in, and like 30 minutes in, like I'm watching it. I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
I'm 30 minutes in. I'm watching it. My girlfriend gets up. She's like going to the bathroom. I'm like, yo, you got to come watch this. This is whoa crazy. She starts watching it with me, and she's like, this ain't good. And I'm like, no. What the fuck? Soderbergh, you're making a fool of me.
You are a fool. So.
Yeah, that's very true. This movie sucks.
Oh, it's so fucking bad. Dude.
2 stars on the Chesky scale.
1 star.
I thought this was gonna be a Redeemer week. Like I was really excited. I watched all the trailers and I'm like,
I know
nothing but
that
good
Eli
shit.
trailer looked so fucking good.
Yeah, the Eli trailer looks fucking awesome.
So hard?
Yeah, and then the Laundromat trailer, I'm like, wow, that looks good too. Like that looks fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was tricked so hard this week.
Well, at least we have Fast and Furious to take the blow a little bit, and the Lighthouse, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Fast and the Furious, for helping me fucking not off myself throughout this week.
Yeah, and the problem was I watched Fast before I watched The Laundromat, and that was a dire mistake.
Oh, that is a dire
Because
mistake.
after I watched Fast and Furious, I was in such a good mood, dude. I was so happy. I'm like, oh, you thought you had me? I was walking around doing fucking dom lines.
You were throwing your arms out in the air, and
I was in such a good mood, and then
shirtless, alone in your apartment.
Yeah, and then I went and watched The Laundromat on my fucking projector. I was so mad that I wasted a projector on it.
Yeah, I watched Fast and Furious back to back with Eli, and I was pissed. And Eli, you know what? Laundromat and Eli have something in common. They trick you in the first little bit.
That's true.
They trick you. They're like, "Don't worry, this is gonna be a good movie," and you're like, "All right." And then you get to the second and third act, and you're like, "You sons of bitches!
You sons of bitches!
You sons of bitches! You done did me dirty."
Damn, I hate when I get done dirty,
dude. And I got done dirty hard this week, and I'm pissed. Let's talk about trailer trash.
Oh, absolutely.
Final trailer for Jumanji: The Next Level. You seen this?
Nah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care about that.
Here's the thing: The Rock's just gonna do that Danny DeVito impression the whole movie.
Oh boy.
And Kevin Hart's just gonna do that kind of racist Danny Glover impression the whole movie.
Oh,
come on, you guys! You can't do this. You simply can't do this to me. And Nick Jonas just rolls back up. You guys,
good for him.
They cleared that up though. They cleared up that whole plot line.
Good for him.
Good for him. Good for Nick Jonas for working, dude.
Yeah.
I do love him.
Appreciate him.
Isn't he married? He's like married to like Sophie Turner. Good for him.
Good for him. Yeah.
Good for him, dude. That's a good snag. But Jumanji: The Next Level. They're like, they go back into the video game and they're like,
same game?
Yeah, it's like a sequel to the game.
Okay.
So there's like winter levels and like a desert level. But guess what? Mostly just jungle. So it looks like it's going to be same film.
Okay, great.
So it's gonna be same film, but this time Danny DeVito. It's The Rock going, my hips goita, you know.
Oh, okay.
I never looked this good before, and you're like, The Rock.
I love Danny DeVito.
What are you doing with this Danny DeVito impression?
The Rock just keeps making these movies, hey?
Yeah.
They just keep letting him make these movies, hey?
Yeah. Here's the thing: is that I'm really worried that with this and Jungle Cruise back to back, I might lose faith.
I might put a fucking pistol in my mouth.
Yeah, because
after these two.
Because if The Rock is no longer making good movies, who's making good movies anymore?
Well, I mean, The Rock is The Rock, regardless.
Soderbergh's not making good movies anymore.
Well, Soderbergh ain't a fucking great master, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like what was that one that he did that was really good? I like that Logan Lucky. That was fun. Oceans.
Yeah, but he's not a great master.
No, there's like one movie he did that's a 5, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oceans.
No, it wasn't Oceans. It was something that he did after Oceans, but before he has like his current weird renaissance where he's shooting everything on an iPhone. Hold on, now I'm pissed. Steven Soderbergh. He is the director of. Oh, he made Traffic. That movie actually is good. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Does that look like the filmography of a great master to you?
Let's see. We got Mosaic. We missed one. Oh, that's a TV show. Never mind.
How could we have missed one?
Yeah, you're right. We simply can't possibly have missed one. Contagion's good. Maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all these are mediocre to good-ish. God, 3 to 4s, no 5s though.
No 5s, dude.
Aaron Brockovich is good though.
Yeah, Aaron Brockovich is good.
Yeah, the original Grey's Anatomy, like the original.
Not familiar with that.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's something else. Yep, it is. It's a doc. It's not like the TV show. No. I guess Aaron Brockovich is the one I was thinking of. But that movie is good as fuck.
Yeah, fair enough.
Movie is good for this Jumanji shit. Why? I just every time I watch the trailer, The Rock is like, look how limba I am, and I'm like, what?
Limba, hey.
I was limba. Yeah, he's like doing this shit. He's like, I'm limba, and I'm like, whoa.
Explain to the listening audience how you're gyrating your hips right now.
I'm gyrating my hips by saying I'm limba, because he's wiggling around a lot in the trailer because he's an old man who's excited that he can walk again. It's also all too crazy trained, and you know what, you guys, I'm pretty off board on this because here's the thing. Don't need it. We don't need a third Jumanji film. And if you are going to make a third Jumanji film, wait a while.
Some of it was filmed around here. The snow stuff was.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually. Yeah, but because The Rock was here and we were trying to look for him.
We were trying to find him. Yeah,
we were also trying to find Paul Rudd. He used to go to the Hudson's just over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Because he was probably at Hotel Arts over there.
Yeah, and so, but we couldn't.
That's where all the film people stay.
Yeah, we
If
couldn't.
you just go hit the bar at Hotel Arts, you can usually find some famous people.
Couldn't find Paul Rudd though. Couldn't find him.
I wasn't looking very hard, though, to be fair.
And Bill Murray obviously locks himself in his hotel room and watches film and jerks off all night.
Yeah, he's cranking down. He does not give a shit about the culture until he wants to like make some headlines, you know?
You know what's crazy though is that they were all in here, and I saw like articles about like where they were at. Which, by the way, don't fucking do that. Like, if somebody's in Calgary, if you're like working for like a news outlet in Calgary, don't be like, Paul Rudd spotted at such and such a bar. Go fuck yourself. Let the guy just have a drink and don't do that.
Well, it's actually usually the bars that call them so that bar can get more business.
That's actually smart.
That's what Broken City does all the time. If you're a famous person and you go to Broken City, you're front page news because Broken City wants business. That's why, like, you know, when Nick Offerman was here for Fargo and he started doing comedy sets at Broken City,
Yeah.
they couldn't stop talking about it. They're like, come on, maybe you'll get a chance to see Nick Offerman.
One time, I went to Broken City and they were talking about this one time that Zach Galifianakis just showed up and just was like, can I do a set? And they're like, yeah, okay. And I saw a terrible, shitty comedian years after this happened spend 45 minutes blatantly telling the story about how Zach Galifianakis showed up at Broken City. And it wasn't funny.
That place is so fucking desperate for business.
Dude,
it's so crazy.
It wasn't funny. He was just talking about the fact that Zach Galifianakis was there, and he's like, you can find the picture of me.
I like that bar, but they're so fucking desperate
Good
for
beer.
famous people.
Good beer. They have a direct line from Last Bet.
It's almost disgusting how like needy they are for famous people. They don't even look at you if you're not famous.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I am famous, though, so
That's true.
we're doing all right. Hey, Podcast Bot 8000.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Hey, Buck.
Hey,
My gears aren't doing so good these days.
good. Hope they stay bad.
I've been begging you to fix me for months.
I'm not a mechanic. I don't know how to fix a robot.
Fix me.
There's another robot. Ask him to do it.
He doesn't know anything. I talked to him. All he knows is Brian Singer boy parties.
Well, Chadley knows. He knows how to oil up fucking robots, robots.
I don't like the
Little
way
tiny
I don't
boy
like the way
robots.
you
He knows how
worded
to
it.
oil
But
them.
I don't like the way you worded it, but I do know how to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
What are we watching on the next episode? Podcast Bot 8000. Hey guys, your best friend is back and he's making movies.
Who could that possibly be?
Taika
Okay.
is making movies, and he made a movie called Jojo Rabbit,
Oh, I bet he did.
and it's about my good friend Hitler.
Oh, Adolf Hitler, hey?
Adolf Hitler. Netflix November rolls on, however.
Oh,
and
damn. I was hoping we were going to get out of that already.
Nope, you guys are going to watch some more 2 to 3 star films. We're talking Dolomite. Am I saying that right?
That's right.
Dolomite is my name. Eddie Murphy going back to his Welcome to America ass shit.
Yeah.
We also have The King with
That's going to be fucking horrible.
Robert
But we'll
Pattinson.
see.
Robin Pattinson.
It looks like just like another fucking Macbeth thing, and I just can't watch any more Macbeth things.
Well, that's too bad because you are watching it. But that being said, I have also decided to only pick Robert Pattinson films for the rest of the podcast.
Is there more?
Oh, there is more.
There's more?
There's more. I've been looking it up,
What
dude.
the
There's
fuck?
fucking more. There's way more, dude.
All right.
Because he's
then.
only doing weird underground shit now. What else? What else are we talking about? Podcast Bot 5000 or Podcast Bot 8000?
Which number is he?
I don't know. He's one of them. You guys will be talking about a film that has been predetermined as a perfect 5.
That's right.
Too fast, too furious.
What a fucking banger.
2 + 2 = 5.
That's right.
Okay, thank you,
Good
Bob.
math, podcast. Bob.
Thank you, Podcast Bot 8000. Please, my feet are bleeding. Okay, get the fuck out of here. You're getting the carpet gross. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Movie Epidemic. You can check us out on Twitter at Movie Epidemic. We're also in other places such as Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, everywhere you can listen to a podcast. Google Play, right?
Probably.
Probably.
I've literally never checked.
I've never checked it, but I'm sure it's there. Google Play. Continued podcast places that you can find
All
your podcasts.
roads lead to Rome at movieepidemic.com. Find your sauce.
Find your sauce. Get saucy, boys. You can also follow him on Twitch at twitch.tv/JHMacy.
Yeah, we just finished Gears 5 last night.
Is that any good?
No, dude.
See, I have it on Game Pass and it's free, and I'm like, I don't even think for
That's
free.
why I
wanna play
played it.
Yeah.
Well, I paid $1
Yeah.
technically, but I got my money's worth out of Outer Worlds, which I beat in 20 hours. So.
Are you now canceling your Game Pass subscription?
Oh, it's canceled.
Perfect.
It's just I do have until the 26th to play some games. So.
Oh, okay. You play that after party game where you have to outdrink the devil.
No,
That looks pretty cool.
I don't think so.
Play Lego Star Wars 3.
Anyway, we played Gears, and that took 2 exact streams of exactly 5 hours. So the game is engineered to play in 10 hours on the dot, and it sucks. But
oh, perfect. Thank you. Who does it make that? Epic Games.
I don't fucking give a shit. Dude.
Thank you for Fortnite. Thank you.